Hey, sweet living spirits. It's Kara here. So, yeah, those are my backyard. Well, I've been getting that for a long time. I've got plenty more just to show you that there's definitely dimensions and to show you that there's definitely spirit realms and also galactic families that come down. Uh, I wanted to just come on just for a few minutes and just talk about gratefulness. Okay. So, some people don't know completely yet, but I'm going to just give it to you. We are Source. We are a spark of Source, the God creator of everything. And we are experiencing our life in this dimension and others through Source. And eventually we're going to all go back to Source. Um, the one thing I do know is whatever you were named at birth, it's not saying you're not your identity. It's not saying that you're not your personality or anything like that. What I'm saying is that we are still source. Different branches, different veins, all going out, and we all go back to source. So, with that said, yes, we can experience many different dimensions. Yes, we are healers, light workers. If we truly just remember, we all want to help one another. The ones that care, the ones that's going to see this, is truly going to be drawn to this message because that's what you are. No if and abouts or bouts about it, I should say. And then remember too, you know, enjoy your life of what you have. Yes, there's some that just don't have anything and stuff. And, you know, I always think about that and I always, pray for abundance for all of us. And I pray for forgiveness. I pray for source awakening to know that we're all one. I pray for, just knowing our potential that we can get. It's not about the materials in this life. It's about the materials in your heart, which is source. And when you have that and you really realize it and you just let it go, source just keeps giving you abundance. Okay? Source is going to give you what you need. Source is going to give you everything that you ask for in a sense of being source. I know that's hard to comprehend, but it's true. And getting back on, yeah, those are my pictures. And I've got plenty more. And I've been doing this. I mean, I've done this. Well, I didn't even think about the galactic families and everything until I was in the hospital. And I hadn't thought about them in years. I mean, I did have that one experience when I was young. And I haven't been hypnotized and whatever, doing regressions of past life or anything. I haven't done any of that. I just remember though, they brought it back to me, and yes, we are all one, and we have galactic timelines. But even them, they're not our saviors. They were here too, though. But what it is that they want to help us because man and womanhood, I have to say both now, has gone into self-destruction and they want to stop it. Okay? It will affect if, you know, even though this is truly a matrix, but it still affects mentality. It affects our heart. It affects, we were already programmed since birth to know a name, to be an identity. They, no offense to our parents and everything, they pushed that into us. They pushed, you know, everything into us. And nothing against our parents or anything. They didn't know either. They had it too. So it's just timeline and timeline and timeline of just um, knowing that we're not worthy or something, or we hold ourselves down from what we are really grateful and what we are really truly are through source. We're all source, just awake. It takes, I mean, I still have to work on myself every day. It's not going to be beautiful. It's not like this big light that just says, oh, you're awake and you're. No. It's called experience living life, knowing though that you are still not of this body, but you respect the body and you love this body, this vessel, but you are source, higher, and you're observing a life of what you are in this dimension. I don't care. Well, I do care, but I'm saying I don't care what life you chose. That's your contract. So if you chose to be living in a van, or you chose to be appreciated, and when you do see it and you recognize whatever you are in this life, and you truly just really recognize it, and you say, you know what, Source, yes, I do see, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for everything I have, no matter if it's a piece of bread, no matter if it's just a little shelter over your head, no matter what it is, and you say, Source, I'm so grateful. I tell you, and you say, Universe, thank you too, and Gaia. Be that blessing every day, but really mean it and know it. Know what you're really truly grateful for. You will see so much abundance coming in. It'll blow your mind. So, I'm just saying. I'm just telling you the truth. There's so many ways that people are giving you, and nothing against that. Yeah, it can work. I'm just saying to manifest stuff and all. You know what? I want to manifest the fact that I know Source God. Because if you know Source God, you don't need anything. You don't need nothing but Source. Because it's everything. Because even if you had a whole bunch of money and you think you're going to be so happy, look at the billionaires. They're not happy. Look at, people who have everything. They're not happy. Some of them. Can't say all, but. Well, you know why? There's something missing. Source. God. The Creator. You can have everything you want in this life, but it doesn't mean you're going to be happy with it. The way you find true happiness is to be satisfied with what you got, acknowledge it, and if you want, money and success or anything, you just ask for it, and you're part of Source, but, you just say it, and you just want abundance. I just say abundance in every way. And thank you, Universe, and already act like you have it. And you will. You will. It might not be exactly what you want, but it's going to be exactly what you need. That's the difference. Because Source will help you. Source is you. You are Source. You're the spark. We're all the spark. We're all one. We're all the veins of Source. Don't forget. And yeah, got several more pictures I can show you guys. Well, I haven't put my camera back on for a while. I might have to do that back bird camera. The reason why I even go into it, because it was alerting me, it's seen something, and I go on, I'm like, what the hell is that? So I start recording it, and that's what I get. I know what it is, because I was a medium clairvoyant since birth, but I truly know what it is, and I feel very good. I feel very safe. And that's another thing. Don't forget how powerful you are in this life. There's going to be a lot of things you might watch, and I watch stuff on TV and stuff too. So, and it can make you go into not remembering how powerful you really are. You are Source. You're a spark of God. Come on, y'all. You are so powerful. Nothing can penetrate you unless you allow it. Remember that. All right. And yes, the fairy realm is very real. Elementors, they've been around me for years, and I didn't ever want to say anything to people because they would, well, some people might still think I'm crazy. I don't care. I don't care. You guys, if you really remember your childhood and everything, I just always knew that there was all these little precious things and people I could see that they were little, and I knew when I touched a tree. I knew when I, picked a flower and I loved it and just loved, and walking in the forest or anything. I remember as a child, and maybe that's why they came back to me, because I've never had, and I've been a clairvoyant medium since birth, and I usually do spirits and everything in different realms, but no, I'm starting to get more galactic families in, and then the Elementors just really surprised me the other night, and I was like, wow, you guys are awesome. Well, I had already been out in the rain. I just let the rain hit me. That was beautiful. I just sat there. I was working on an extra little fence type of thing for my chickens, and this little rainstorm came up, and I just said, you know what? And I had something like this on. I like my little house gowns, whatever you want to call them, but they're very comfortable, and you're gonna have to forgive me. I don't dress up. And I was sitting out there, and I was like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna stay right here. And I just let the rain hit me, and I even stopped, and I just looked up, and I just let the rain hit my face and my body, and it was so beautiful to have that purity. And then I put my intent, and I was thanking the rain, I was thanking the water, I was thanking it with good vibrations. I was like, help me, help me heal my body, mind, and spirit. Help me heal myself, because sometimes we forget that we're just truly an avatar, and we're in a body, and just like playing the game, like one of those things. It is true, you're an avatar, but it doesn't mean to disrespect your body. We all do stuff to our body. I mean, who am I to say anything? I'm eating stuff that's not even good for me. I drink sometimes, I smoke, but I still love my body, but I'm not in the body, if that makes sense. I know it sounds crazy. I'm observing. I'm consciousness, watching, like a movie. I'm the character, care. I don't have a name in my true sense, but I'm care in this life, movie. But it's not meaning to not take it seriously, because it's about what you do and what you think and what you feel, and to go back to source through this all is what's going to help you to the highest intent of you. That's all it is. I love y'all, and pray for everybody, even though we're one. Pray for peace, and then also remember every day, before you even get up out of that bed, just wake up and be grateful for your breath, because you do die when you're asleep. But death is not, they should have called death birth. I've been there, done this. They should have called death birth, because death is actually your natural state of what you truly are inside of this body, this vessel. It's only us and community, our parents, everything that puts, and ourselves, that puts an actual identity on this energy, life in us. But when you see that and you actually just go back to source, God, creator, you are just this avatar that's exploring themselves and seeing different factors of how to go back of the love that was created through source to us as a body, mind. but we're really truly spirit, and we're truly, well, spirit. The soul is also, so you have an oversoul. That's somebody that looks after this body. That's the second step from the body, second step. And then you got your spirit that's free, that's in you too, and that's connected to source. Source is the highest octave. Source is the highest frequency. So every morning before you get up, talk to source. You can, and you don't have to go through those stages. And love yourself and say you are worthy. Because that's the hardest part about humanity, is that thinking that we're not worthy, or it's not the right time, or we're scared, or let go of all that fear. Let go of everything. Everything. Fear. Everything that's dense. Let it go. And just know you're a part of source. You're a spark. You're a creator. That's all it is. We're the veins. We're all brothers and sisters. Well, we're all one when you truly go back to it. We're the veins. I love y'all. And yeah, I might put some more pictures. I got several saved. I got stills, and I got some videos. Blow your mind. Well, I feel safe now. Just saying. To post them. I've been kind of waiting for this for a long time with the disclosure, and well, I can't even say I've been abducted or anything. Well, I don't remember if I did, but evidently it didn't hurt me. The only thing I remember is, like I said, in the hospital, and they came to me, and I was very, very, very sick. And I do remember he wasn't tall white, but he had a mask on, and his eyes were like iridescent. And I feel like it was just a cover. And then I had the grays, and they were pulling this tar out of me, this stuff. And when they went in, they had to check me after a month, it was actually a month and 2 weeks before I got out of the hospital. And they had to do use that little burn thing. But no, they had to do the catheterization, but they did it in my arm, in my wrist. And he went in there, and he's like, "You're good." Because you're still kind of awake. You don't feel anything, but, he's talking to me, and I can remember, and he's like, "I don't see anything. You're actually good." Now, I'm sitting there after I came back to complete coherence, and I'm like, how the hell am I good? I am so country, and my mama had brought me up, the baby of 6 children, and we ate pork. We've eaten gravy. We eat butter in our green beans and bacon, and oh my Lord, I'm like, well, I did see those grays pulling some shit out of me, and they were little guys. They wouldn't, well, no, I don't want to say like that. They were about, I don't know, 3 foot. They were on the side of the bed. And what was funny is when I woke up, everything was exactly, and I didn't even know I was moved because I was out. And everything was exactly the way, even the balloons that my cousins gave me was in the corner. So people who are in comas, I just want to say, they're still kind of there. But all I remember when I was in the coma is I was also rolling, trying to just roll myself out of this mud. And people was going to say, "Did you see a light? Well, I don't even know when my heart stopped. Had to be helicopter flown to another hospital. I don't remember anything about that. I just remember my mom came, and she's been passed on now for a few years. And she gave me a kiss on the cheek, and she definitely had a white light around her and everything. And she just gave me a kiss. She didn't say nothing. And I just remember after that, I was in like a bubble thing. It was really weird. It was like a plasma bubble. It wasn't solid. That's all I know. But yet, everything was still there, like I was in a hospital room. And I didn't even know I did go to the hospital to get my lungs checked. And all I remember, I didn't even remember getting my lungs, well, I was that bad off. I had pneumonia in both lungs, and my heart stopped. on the way to the hospital in the helicopter. Then they had to keep bringing me back and doing compressions because my heart kept stopping. I don't know how many times or how many minutes, but they said, Jerry said, my husband said I had died for 4 minutes. So all I remember is what I can remember of my experience. And I do remember what I'm telling you in the sequence of just remembering my mom coming kissing me first. She had a beautiful white light around her. Then it was like a dome, and it was like plasma. And there was this really tall, he was kind of blue, but he had a mask on. It was really pretty. The mask, it was like diamonds in it and stuff. It was really, and no, I wasn't, I don't feel like I was drugged up much. And the dome was like weird. It was a plasma, but yet everything was still set up like a hospital room. And the four grays, I had two on one side, two on the side, and they're pulling stuff. And he did tell me, but he didn't talk. He did it through my head. And he's like, "You're okay." And I remember him asking me, "Do you want to go back?" And I remember myself saying yes. Because I want to know love more. And I remember saying that, which is weird. That's another story. But anyway, and I just remember them pulling this tar, and they were pulling it. It was weird, out of my body. They were coming up from my shoulder, and they were just two of them. One was working this way, one was working out, and they were passing it to each other, and they were pulling it out. And the hospital room was beautiful. It was just this globe, like a bubble of weird plasma jello, like I was in a big jello bubble. It was cool. And then when I woke up, but that was still way time later, um, everything was still in the same place. And I was actually freaking out. I started freaking out. I didn't know. I was woke up and I was trying to rip stuff out of my nose. I didn't understand what was going on because all I remember was going in for an x-ray, and then I come out almost a month later, and I'm like, what the fuck? So, I mean, there's a long story, and there's so many more things even after that, but that would be too long. So I'm just going to give you that part. But, it's true. But it doesn't matter about my past. What matters is what I've seen and what I know now. And I do feel like, I walk in. And I'm not saying I'm an alien. Actually, we all have alien in us. But we still all go back to source. So stop being judgmental about any color, any race. We've done that. That's bullshit. Okay? We're all one. We all bleed the same color. And even if we are, aliens, I don't care what color they bleed. We are all one. You guys, stop it. Stop. Stop this fighting. Stop. We're one. Please. Please. We're all one through source God. God loves us. God don't abandon us. God wants us to wake up like children and see, because we are all connected. How could you be close to God if you're destructing and killing or hurting each other? How could you be close to God, who's all loving, if you don't care about hungry people or people on the streets or anything? How could you be to God if you're worried about religion and you fight about that? Think. God is pure. God is everything pure. God is the creator. Remember, and I'm not saying nothing against the ones that are doing that, because we're going to all go back to source. But we all have to learn our lessons, even me. So that's what I'm trying to say. It's truth, peace, love, harmony, unity. Unity. We're all one. When we get that, we won't want to kill ourselves, right? If you're killing others, you're killing ourselves. If I hurt you, I hurt myself. Remember, we're all one through Source, God, Creator. And so it is. I love y'all. Later.